Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video on the how to make an egg hatching system series. In this video I'll be showing you how to add multipliers to your egg hatching system, as well as fixing a bug with the hatching. So if you press R or T and press cancel, it will triple hatch. The game will think that you bought the game pass, but now it's fully fixed. So if I press R again, it should prompt the purchase again. Before this video starts, if you guys want to support me and want to have access to all of my project files, including the one you're watching right now, they will all be available in my Patreon in the $10 tier. With that being said, let's start. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have to do is fix this bug, because if I go ahead and play the game right now and try to triple hatch, if I press R, if I press cancel, I will be able to triple hatch, and this really shouldn't happen. So to fix it, it's very simple. We just have to enter our main server script, scroll all the way down to here, where we are checking if they buy the triple hatch game pass, and we're gonna add another argument called purchased. So purchased, and in here we're gonna check if purchased is equal to true, then, and we can just cut this and paste it here. Now we can go ahead and do the same thing for the auto hatch game pass. So we just have to go here, add another argument, purchased, and in here if purchased is equal to true, then, and we can just cut this and paste it here. And now if you go ahead and play the game, that should work. So if I get close to an egg, press R and press cancel and press R again, it should prompt this. But if I purchase it, as you can see, I should be able to triple hatch. Okay, so this works, but what we need to do is check if this works with auto hatch. So T, okay, so it works because I own the game pass. Yes, I already own that game pass, so it should work. And now what I'm going to do is add multipliers. Also, I would like to check if everything works fine with 2 eggs. So if I just go here, press R and purchase the game pass, hatch the egg. Okay, so it hatches the blue egg. Now, what if I get close to the other egg? It hatches the red egg. Okay, so this works. Now, multipliers. Now, this is going to be a bit complicated. Not really, but... Okay, so just enter your main server script and go to server storage, values, and we can add a new value, and we'll add a string value, and we'll call it multiplier. And what I'm going to do is call this multiplier 1, because you might want to have a lot of multipliers. So I'm just going to name it to multiplier 1, and I'm going to go to all of my pets, and I will add a string value, and I'm going to call it multiplier 1, and I'm just going to copy it, paste it inside of the other pets, and that should be it. Now I'm going to set this multiplier to a number. So for me it's going to be 2 for this and 3 for this. And now if we go to the part where we equip an egg, a pet, so right here, equip pet, what we're gonna do is when we equip the pet, we just need to set the player's multiplier value to the player's multiplier value plus the current multiplier of the pet. So the first thing we're gonna do is set the multiplier value by default to be 1. because anything, if you set this to 0, make sure it's not set to 0, because if you set it to 0, then if we multiply the player's stats by 0, that's going to give us 0, so it has to be 1. And now I'm going to just do player dot values dot multiplier player 1 dot value is equal to, and player dot values dot multiplier 1 dot value plus, and the pet, so cloned pet dot multiplier 1 dot value. And let's check if that works. So if I just equip a pet, for example this one, my multiplier is currently 1, so if I equip this, it's now set to 4. Now what we need to do is, instead of having that set to 4, we need it to be 3, so multiplier 1 dot value minus 1. And then if I play the game now, that should set it to 3 instead of 1. So this is set to 1, so if I equip this, it's now set to 3. But if I equip another pet, sorry, I pressed stop. But if I equip another pet, it's going to be 5, I think, because it's going to take 3 and subtract 1 from it. So this plus this, and yes, 5. And this should not happen. So to fix it, it's very simple. We just have to add a check here. So if player.values.multiplier 1.value is equal to 1 to 1, then we will do this. Else if player.values.multiplier 1 value is equal to is greater. Actually, we can just add an else, and we'll just set this to plus equal this, but without the minus 1, and you can just get rid of the parentheses. And now if you play the game, that should fix it. So if I just go to players prog values multiplier 1 and equip the first pet, it's set to 3, and if I equip this, it should set it to 6. And as you can see, it's 6, and now it should be 9. And as you can see, that works perfectly. So now we have to fix unequipping, because if you unequip pet, it won't reset the multiplier. So what we're going to do is, when we unequip a pet, we need to get the pet. So I'm going to firstly change this to create a reference to this. So local pet is equal to, and I will just copy this without the colon destroy, and then I will do pet. Before we destroy the pet, we'll do player dot multiplier dot values dot multiplier 1 dot value is equal to the pet dot multiplier 1 dot value. Actually, we can just set it to minus equal multiplier 1 dot value, but if the multiplier is set to 3, and if we subtract 3, then that's going to give us 0, and anything that's multiplied by 0 is 0. So to fix that, I think we'll just have to add an if statement here. So if player dot multiplier 1 dot value is equal to pet dot multiplier 1 dot value, then we will set the multiplier value to 1. instead of this, and else then we can just do this. And now if I play the game, that should work, hopefully. So multiplier 1, if I equip this pet, it's set to 3. If I unequip it, it doesn't go back to 1. So let's see why. And okay, so the first thing is I did not destroy the pet, so pet con destroy. And let's check the output, and as you can see, multiplier 1 is not a valid member of. Okay, change this to .values.multiplier 1, and then it should work. So if I just open this, equip a pet, my multiplier is now set to 3, and if I unequip it, it's back to 1. But if I equip this and equip this, my multiplier is now 6, and if I subtract 3, it should give us 3. So 3, and if I unequip this, it's 1. So this works, and now we have to make the multipliers work for unequip all. And to do that, it's also very simple. We just have to go down here. Also, let's cut this and paste it here. And what I'm going to do is, before we clear, okay, we can just clear all children, and then we can set the player values multiplier 1 value to 1, and now that should work just fine. So if I just go here, values multiplier 1, and equip this. If I just unequip all, it goes back to 1. And now I need to show you how to make the multipliers actually work. So let's say you have a button that whenever you click it, it will give the player some cash. So what I'm going to do is just duplicate this button and drag it down and put it here, and I'm going to set the text to test. And what I'm going to do is just add a local script to this, and let's say you have it set up like this. So local, let's do script.parent.mouse button 1 click on connect function, and we will do game.replicated storage and I will just add a remote event. So I'm going to call it test. So test fire server. And what I'm going to do is go back to my main server script, and in here I'll do game.replicated storage egg hatching remotes. Also, I have to change this to egg hatching remotes test, and same thing here, test on server event on connect function, and that will take the player as an argument, player, and what I'm going to do is do player and I think it's coins. Yes, coins. Okay, so player.coins value plus equal, and let's say the amount that you want to give to the player is like 10. Now you're gonna put that number in parentheses. It might be a variable called amount or something, but for now it's going to be 10. It's going to be a magic number, and I'm going to multiply it by player values multiplier 1 value, and that should work. But we need to change this to a two number, because if you don't use a two number, I don't think you can multiply a number by a string. So it's going to be this for now, and let's see if this works. So let's change this to 1, by the way. And let's say you have this set up like that. So whenever you want to give the player some coins or a currency, just multiply it by 2 and player.values.multiplier1.value. And if you play the game, that should work. So if I press this, nothing happens. And coins is not a valid member of player.players bug. And I'm going to change this to player.leaderstats.coins.value. And if you play the game now, if I press this, as you can see, it gave me 1 coin. If I press it again, 1 coin. And if I equip this, now it should give me a lot more. So as you can see, it gave me 7. It gave me 3. If I equip these, as you can see, now it gives me more per click. And if I equip more, it gives me a lot more. But now what I need to do is unequip all of my pets, and now as you can see, it's back to 1. And this is how you can implement multipliers to your game. So just whenever you add a currency to the player, whenever you award the player something, just multiply that by multiply the amount that you are giving to the player by this right here. So 2 player.values.multiplier1.value. Now, how can you add multiple multipliers? That is very simple. Let's say you want it to multiply the gems, for example. You can just add another multiplier, call it multiplier2, and paste that inside of the pet, and do the same thing to the values. So right here, add another multiplier, call it multiplier2, and if you go here, just copy this and do the same thing for just paste it again and do the exact same thing, but with multiplier 2 instead. Just change this 1 keyword and everything should work. Again, same thing here, and that should be it. Now I'm going to show you how you can display the stats of a pet whenever you select the pet, because right now it says ×1, and that's not really how it works. And to fix that, it's very simple. We just have to go to our pets frame info, and I'm pretty sure we have times clicks and times coins, so I'm going to just get rid of times clicks because I only have 1 currency, and I'm going to call it multiplier 1. So multiplier 1. Now what you can do is enter your pet inventory script, and whenever you select a template, so on template press, all we have to do is scroll down here, right here, and what we can do is info dot multiplier1 dot text is equal to, and we don't have the pet model, so we'll just cut this, paste it here, and we'll do pet model dot, actually that's not how it works. So copy this right here and paste it here. So replicated storage dot pets colon find first child this dot multiplier1 dot value. And if you play the game now, that should work. And I will also put this here because I think it's going to be better. And okay, so it works, but we don't want it to say 3, we want it to say ×3. And to do that, it's very simple. You can just add an X here, dot, and that. And then we can also add a dot and space and coins. And if I play the game now, that should work. And as you can see now, it says ×3 coins. And that is going to be it for today's tutorial. If this helped, make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.